What is a fashion trend you hate? Drifting Paisho said. 2x or 3x that is only wide, not long. Big and tall fuckers. You forget the tall part. Typer077 said. Clothes that are cute until you look up clothes in the back says something stupid like but first, coffee. Edit, thanks for the awards. Glad I'm not the only one who hates this lol. Tedaville's advocate said. 100% agree. I work at a truck dealership and they used to make us wear khakis. Even the warehouse and parts employees. It is impossible to get grease or coolant stains out of those fuckers. Before we just decided to ignore that rule, everybody was walking around with all kinds of fun and dubious stains. Hi from Colorado said. Shit, I'll probably be the most trustworthy mechanic you know. I work on diesels and have to supply my own clothes. My work pants are permanently stained after 2-3 uses max and last me about 5-6 months before they're thrown away. I hate looking like a scrub, but I also hate paying $50 pair of pants. Oyake said. My boss once decided we could no longer wear our dark blue MCDS supervisor button-up shirts that came in a couple colors and gave us awful-white corduroy button-up shirts. I was the night manager with no back-end person and part-time maintenance. I used to get as filthy every night to prove a point. They were also hot as fuck. The next year we all got navy blue polos. I won. Snapsnapper said. This exact problem is how I ended up buying most of my clothes from adventure trekking stores. Brands like Patagonia, Columbia, The North Face etc. sell clothes that are made to last. A lot of the stuff looks a bit too trekky for everyday life, but they sell plenty of normal clothes too. They're a bit expensive, but it's totally worth it. Teleming said. As someone on my feet a lot, I'll also swear by those hiking boot shoe hybrids. I got a good pair from Columbia that are plain enough for office work, but they are also fantastic when I'm working in manufacturing plants. Plus I can wear the same shoes while hiking lol. My current pair are my daily shoes, and they're finally wearing out around 8 or 9 years in. Scuba Steve 1080p said. Same for a lot of men's nicer clothes now. There are certain fabrics that are apparently popular, but they just shrink all the shirts up on the torso one wash and I look like I'm dressing as Winnie the Pooh, too, when you start seeing through it. That and jeans with short crotch to belt measurements, so I either sag or have a wedgie. At least they still have pockets though. Outrageous Mix 5145 said the shorts I'm wearing right now have fake back pockets. I've tried putting my phone in my back pocket about 10 times today and am ready to just rip the damn shorts off my legs at this point. Duffman13JWS said. The backstory behind Large Polo Man is actually funny because it was entirely unintentional and just a business responding to customer demand. Apparently Ralph Lauren was the apparel provider for one of the more prestigious tennis tournament, think US Open, Wimbledon, etc. And they made one-offs for the boys to wear so that the logo would be visible on TV. There was apparently no initial intent to market them to the general public. People watching saw it and said I want that, and here we are with giant polo logos now. So yeah, oversized Polo Man is a result of consumers' bad taste. Palishkato said. Reminds me of the 2000s when you could pull out a reasonable looking pair of jeans or joggers only to find the bum was emblazoning sparkly writing with something like raunchy whore, not literally, but words to that effect. Hong Kong's BBF said. For real. I have so many acquaintances who go off on tirades about how it's sexist and oppressive and all this to dictate what your children, especially fab ones, may wear. Like, I'm happy to discuss sexism apparent in dress codes and corporate dress standards, but I'm also not letting my kids wear anything with ass riding. And it's not because the boys won't be able to control themselves, it's because it's fucking ass riding. Lextab said. I'm from the UK and bought some cheap shirts from Primark a few years ago and one of them had the name of some American university on it. A few months later I'm out shopping and an American tourist comes up to me all excited telling me he went to that university and asked when I graduated, and I felt bad explaining to him it was some £3 shirt from Primark and I've never heard of the place. Sophisticated Squatch said. Long sleeves on women's clothing that are too short. Most long sleeves end well before my wrist and a few inches past my elbow. I'm not exactly queen of the long-armed Amazons. I end up pushing the sleeves up on everything because I look like a kid after a growth spurt whose clothes no longer fit properly. WHO, are these people with impossibly short arms? Zero Gar said. This fad is the worst. I used to work at a shop that sold some hats and they all came with the stickers on the stupid rim. The problem was that if you removed the sticker on the brand new hat, the patch under the sticker was always darker than the rest of the hat. I did embroidery for the shop, and at one point after embroidering 40 hats for a client, they came back the next day super pissed that all their hats had dark circles when the sticker was removed. Danny in a tree said. Sick and tired of cropped clothing. So many shirts these days are made to pair with high-waisted pants. As someone with a large bust, I find they just ride up and expose too much even if I have high-waisted jeans. I just want regular length shirts. Tisho Sandher said. The way that so much of women's clothing has fucking unfathomable sheer panels or cutouts on it? If I'm searching for a woolly jumper in the dead of winter, do you really think I want it to have a sodding cutout at the neckline so that my delicate collarbones can get frostbite while the rest of me is nice and unfashionably toasty? Why the fuck would I be interested in a jumper made of the thickest wool known to mankind, with a turtleneck that could suffocate a 6-foot man, if it's fucking backless? I don't want a bastard t-shirt that exposes just the band of my bra and a weird 7-inch window between my shoulder blades. Why the piss do you think I want to expose 3 inches of random skin between my bosoms, in such a way that any bra would show, and if I didn't wear a bra then an errant nip-nop might end up playing peekaboo? The number of times I've seen a nice dress which has piqued my sartorial interest and then I've turned it round and found that there's a solid 2 feet of fabric missing from neck to crack, holy god. And they never take the extra fabric they save from those stupid fucking cutouts to make pockets, either. It pisses me off immeasurably. White4 said. While I agree with the poster you replied to and agree with you that there are lots of non-functional sweaters out there, like backless WTF, I always assumed the crop sweaters were to go with the high-waist mom jeans. When I wear crop t-shirts and mom jeans there's no gap, I'd assume the sweater would fall around the same area. Winter Soldiet said. Fast fashion. To clarify, not just because of short-lived seasonal trends that are in for 3 weeks. Rather because of the damage fast fashion production does to people and the planet. Everyone suffers from it, but especially the people forced to make clothes in cramped spaces and horrid working standards, for minimal pay, just so people can buy a shirt for $3 from H&M. Pure11 said. I remember being 15 years old and having a conversation with my mother in Sears about the brand new winter coat she was buying me. I always wore hand-me-downs or black clothes, and she insisted I maybe consider the blue or purple coat for once to add some color to my wardrobe. I remember telling her that if she was buying me an expensive winter coat, I should get the black one because black is timeless in fashion, and I knew she wouldn't be replacing it in 2 years. I wore that damned thing for over 10 years before I finally got too fat to fit in it and donated it. My new ski coat is also black. I'm not going to lie, I've bought a lot of clothes over the years that I hardly wore, but many of my staples are good quality and have lasted me years. The fact that people don't have a handful of garments they can wear 30 times without thinking about it is kind of sad. Saviners13 said. As someone who worked in fast fashion, I totally agree. But what doesn't get touched on as much as the chemicals they put on the clothes and shoes to make them look nice in stores. I didn't pay it any mind until 3 years into working there when I started coming home with breathing issues and breaking out in hives, and had to start coming into work with an inhaler just to make it through the shift. Chemicals like formaldehyde and sizing are really not meant to be touched, breathed in as much as our retail workers do, and it's really a big health concern of fast fashion. Mess One Tooth said. I was sitting on a patio and a woman was walking down street towards us. She was a few hundred yards away. I heard at least 3 tables asking out loud if she was naked. I thought so as well. When she got closer, you could see she was wearing peach-colored yoga pants with pink stitching at the crotch. I assume that was intentional by the manufacturer and by the women who bought them. If she actually had no idea, hopefully someone eventually let her know. I am Zavsavage said. I was getting a manicure on my natural nails and a woman rushes in and asks the manicurist to fix one of her claws she got done 2 days prior. It was literally snapped in half lengthwise, so they had to rip it off and start that again. We get to talking and she said she worked at UPS loading trucks with heavy boxes all day. I can't imagine how often her nails get ruined. Lasrua said. Not sure what fashion trends are hot at the moment in other countries or cities, but here in Dublin, Ireland, cycling shorts are having a moment and they look hideous. It's mostly younger women, teenagers and women in their early 20s, the kind of people who have the figures to pull off such an unforgiving item of clothing, yet they don't look good at all on any of them. They wear them with heels mostly, all dressed up on the top half like they're going out clubbing, then, on the bottom half, cycling shorts and heels. I just do not get it. It's such an unflattering look and it also looks ridiculous. I feel obliged to admit that I'm a 40-year-old woman whose ass has had its day. Glass Broccoli 2071 said. I pretty much have to wear low-rise jeans because my waist is really short, and it's been a pain shopping for them these last couple of years because everywhere just hit high-waisted or mom jeans and I don't care to have my pants come up to my boobs. So, I agree with you. Why is it so hard to have a variety? Why do we need dozens of shops in the same mall all selling the same styles and nothing else? Bugstep said. When it's fashionable to hate on a trend. Take a man bun for instance. Where I live, summer is fucking hot. And I used to have long hair. I used to catch flack all the time cause it was up in a bun. It all was usually more of a top knot cause I wouldn't pull my pony's tail all the way though the hell but yeah. What's with the man bun? $it? It's just a bun. It has no sex. It's fucking hot and I don't want my hair on my neck while working my hot shitty job, thanks. Alleyway Gum said. Anything made with viscose. It's expensive, you can't wash it without it shrinking and even if you take it to the dry cleaner it will still shrink down a bit. Furthermore you can use other materials that are both cheaper and more fancy and be able to wash it more than once or twice. Seriously, fuck viscose and whoever came up with that garbage. Alaka Hipster said. There's a difference between proper mom jeans and girls who buy baggy-ass jeans and try to pass them off as mom jeans. Mom jeans are purpose-tailored to be high-rise hip-hugging, but too many folks are intentionally buying large jeans and giving themselves camel toes because they're hiking them up too high. You're prob seeing the latter more often, which gives the trend a bad rap. Justin Duke said. Not so much a trend as an anti-trend. Cargo shorts hate. Why is wearing cargo shorts all of a sudden a faux pas? I used to work with a girl who said she was gonna throw away her BF's cargo shorts so he would have to wear something else. Why? I don't wear shorts a lot, but when I do, they're usually cargo shorts. They are comfortable, they are an appropriate length, and in the summer when it's too hot wear a coat with pockets and I don't want to carry my backpack. I can carry so much spaghetti in those bad boys. Bushel said. I blame the Britneys and neckbeards for ruining things like this. Cargo shorts were pretty average until they became the uniform for unwashed professional MTG players. Same with the trilby hats, they call them fedoras but they are completely different things, that were popular back in the late 2000s. In high school we did a production of Guys and Dolls so all the guys in the play got really into wearing our hats around, but then the whole tips fedora thing came around and ruined it.